So yesterday we got our claim or thesis statements onto our graphic organizers and we wrote our topic sentences. So the next step is to go ahead and do our quotes from the research. We want to do our quotes from the research first before we do our quotes from the novel, because that helps us match our quotes from the novel to the quotes from the research. So the very next step after doing our topic sentences is to actually scroll down, and we're skipping lots of slots on our graphic organizer, and you'll see that we have a space here that says quote from the research, and that is the very next step. So ignore all the other spaces that come before. We are going to do the quotes from the research. So pull up your graphic organizer on one tab and then have your source sheets open on the other tab. So your source sheet for the Smykowski article, the source sheet for the Novels for Students article, and the source sheet that you have for your GaleNet article. What you want to do is look at your topic sentence and see what it's about, and then you want to find a quote that matches it. So this topic says, one symbol for racism in the novel is racist language. So I need to find a quote from my research that talks about what racist language symbolizes. So I'm going to come over to my source sheet here, and this quote says, the obscene language, specifically the use of rotten, makes Tom Robinson and black men seem like animals, giving black men a bestial, non-human quality. Mr. Gilmer, the prosecutor, adds to this racist symbolism as he cross-examines the witness, Tom Robinson. Mr. Gilmer gives Tom Robinson no respect during his cross-examination. He continually calls Tom boy, which is racist when referring to a black man. He also adds to this non-human, bestial representation of Tom Robinson by referring to him as a big buck. So this is a great quote to use for my topic sentence because it says what the language symbolizes. So I'm just going to go to my source sheet here, and I'm going to copy it, come back to my graphic organizer, and where it says, quote, research, because this comes from my research, I am just going to paste it in, and I'm not going to worry about anything else. And I'm going to move on to my next paragraph and do the same thing. So my topic sentence says, in addition to language, the mad dog, Tim Johnson, also symbolizes racism. So now I need to go back to my source sheets again, and I need to find a quote that talks about what Tim Johnson symbolizes. So coming back to my source sheet here, it says, like the dog infected with rabies, the citizens of Maycomb are infected with Maycomb's usual disease, racism, which makes them just as irrational and just as dangerous as Tim Johnson. So this quote right here talks about what Tim Johnson symbolizes. So I'm going to copy this, go back to my graphic organizer. And again, I'm going to skip a lot of spaces. I'm going to come down to where it says quote research, and I'm going to paste it in. So again, you're looking for quotes from your research on your source sheets that match what your topic sentence is about. We're going to skip everything else for now. If you can't find a good quote on your source sheet, go back to the actual articles themselves, do a little rereading, find a good quote, and then just paste it in. So again, it's not a big deal if it's not on your source sheet. You can always go back to the original article and paste something in. If this is really easy and it goes quickly for you, you can go ahead and find the quotes from the novel. So the best way to do this, again, find the quotes from the research first, and that helps you figure out what quote from the novel you need. So again, this is talking about the mad dog, Tim Johnson, being infected with rabies. So now I know I need to find a quote about the rabid dog from the book. If we slide up here to the previous paragraph, it talks about Mr. Gilmer using language like calling him boy and a big buck. So that would be a great quote to use from the book. It matches. This quote is talking about this example from the book, so I'm going to go find it. Now, again, this book is 31 chapters, so I don't remember exactly what page or what chapter everything happens in. So that's when Google comes in handy. So I like to do this. I go to Google and I say, what chapter does Gilmer call Tom Robinson a big buck? And if you look in the search results, they all say chapter 19. So then I can just come on over to chapter 19 of my book, and I can scroll through the book and do some scanning here. And oh, I found it. Here it is. So then where it says quote from the novel, I can go ahead and type it in and say, says, were you so scared that she'd hurt you? You ran, a big buck like you, and I can go ahead and type it in. So then I've got my quote from the novel. So were you so scared you ran a big buck like you. And then don't forget your parenthetical citation. It's going to be Harper Lee's last name and the page number from the book. So again, don't forget to use your parentheticals from your source sheet and the correct parenthetical for the book, okay? So again, Google can be your best friend when finding a quote, and your source sheets and your articles can be your best friend when looking for good quotes from the research. So the quotes from the research and the quotes from the novel need to be about the same thing. They need to match. If you have any trouble with this, I'm here to help you. So come see me if you need any help.